miyushu. Now, tekiyas miyushu means the main tekiyas. You know, the tekiyas that we blow during Shemona Esrei, not everybody does that even. There's other people that, other nuschos, that they don't do it. They do it after davening. But there's the tekiyas miyushu. Now, why is it called tekiyas miyushu? Because if it's done in Shemona Esrei, so you're standing. There's no choice to sit down and do it. But the tekiyas that we do before Musaf, those are called tekiyas miyushu, because officially you could sit. Maybe we could stand, but officially you could sit. So he's saying now, say that the tekiyas miyushu uba yudal sifa. Says as follows: Aleph.
Say the tekiyas miyushu.
See, right away it starts. Say the tekiyas miyushu, and the first line says, sort of with kayam umud. You have to make the doing the blowing standing. Soon to explain that. Shenemesh and pasuk. Yom tru yilachem. V'hau noima. Usvatam lachem. That's when we get the svita. So we take the word lachem. So we say malahalan. Malasham miyumad, just like over there, it's umad. Commercial Bible Simatav pay test. Afkan mu'umad. Now he doesn't say over here why over there is mu'umad. And the reason is because the pasuk says that you should count the svita. Mahal achamish bakoma. Bakoma means a standing tefillah. So same thing over here. So we say just like over there has to be mu'umad. Same thing over here has to be mu'umad. Therefore, v'yismach al shum davar, v'inyin shem yinoto ois davar, she soymach olav hayanayfo. Says to say. We're saying that you have to stand. Now what happens if you're leaning? So if you're leaning, it looks like you're standing, but you're being supported by something. So how do we know when leaning is okay and when leaning is not okay? So he says, it depends what would be if you're leaning on something, and if they move away the thing, you'd fall down. Then you're not standing. If you're leaning on something, but if they move it away, you'd be standing, so then it's considered standing.
You said once that the Alter Rebbe says that if someone has a stick on Shabbos, if he always carries the stick, he's allowed to go on Shabbos because the stick is the foot.
What I say has to do with Hilchot Shabbos about walking in the street with a stick. It's a different thing.
If you hold a stick, let's say someone can't stand. He's holding the stick because that's his foot.
The din is that if he uses the stick also at home, then he can go with it in the street. What's it got to do with over here?
Because his stick is his foot. He can't stand without the stick. So if he stands with a stick, maybe...
It's not like because he can't stand with it. Because to move around, he needs the stick. It's to move around.
You can stand without a stick, but you cannot walk without a stick.
So if he would fall, she'ein zu amida ela smicha. When we come on im over v'toka, if what happens if the Baltakeya was sitting, we're saying he should stand, but what happens if it was sitting? So afila meyusha yotza is yotza. Ve'ein tzov hasa b'lutkaya mu'umad. You don't have to do it over. לפי שהעמידה אין אלא מדבר סופרים, כמו שנסביר בסימן חס. So, but this is all talking when it gets about the Kaya. It's not the people. So now he goes on to say in Beis that Hashaimim at the Kiyas, the people that are hearing the Kiyas, Apa Pi Shadayin La Yatsu, Yidekavasam, even they're first hearing it now and they want to be Yatsu with this blowing of the shofar, Apa Pi Kain Einem Sirulama, they don't have to stand. Like I said before, the minig is that you stand. But if someone has difficulty standing, so it's okay for him to sit. Nayim at Kaya al Abima. The Mokum Shakaitim, by the place, the Bima where you lay in. It's interesting, if you want to be Medayik, he says about Mokum Shakaitim, that's called a Bima also. And this is called a Bima. That's the Bima from where the rabbi gives a drasha. But this is the Bima where you're laying. And the Maila of this Bima, this is called Bima Ba'amsa, where you're laying and maybe it's more in the center of the shul. So it's a little elevated and it'll be easier for the people to hear. I'm hearing that there's some movement about taking away the bima. So the truth is, it could be false from my drasha, that some people are maybe upset. I'm trying to think where did they get an idea to take away a bima. The problem is that would make it a conservative shul. A conservative shul, because I heard that they want to take away the bima, but you got to put up the bima someplace. So they put the bima up on top over here. That was in conservative shuls. That the way it was in the church. That's why the Sam Sofer and the Madam Sheikh came out screaming that it has to be bima ba'emsa. Not only has to be bima ba'emsa, but the Rebbe writes that even in a Chabad house, you should have a chair in front of the bima, so we can sit a bima b'emsa. How much the Rebbe was medayik on bima b'emsa. Instead, still there's some people that have a machshava zora portion to take away.
So they're going to put a chair in front.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do.
What is a chair going to help? What do you say with a chair? What does a chair help if you put a chair?
It becomes a bima b'emsa. In other words, there's seating in front.
Wait, the chair makes it a bima, the first bima?
The marshal, where Rabbi Leshus is sitting. Suppose there's no benches here. So the Rebbe says that you should put a chair in front of this here. That's what the Rebbe writes in the Igros. Why? To make it bima, hasten that bima is b'emsa.
It's b'emsa the people.
Right. Because the Indian was, what's wrong with the bima being up there? That happened. That was when they made some Sefer came out with the slogan Chodesh Osam and Atayra, that to make new things is also, that's how we teach Chodesh Osam and Atayra. We teach has to do with the tzvua that it was planted. But he came out with the slogan Chodesh Osam and Atayra, because the modern people in Europe already wanted to look more like a church. So I said to someone that where they can put the bima, they put the bima, they hold it up here, and then the Shabbos they're going to move it down here. I can't understand it, but my complaint is that anyone that walks in here will think that in Lubavitch the bima is up front like a conservative. It'll have the appearance. You have to be careful. Even things shouldn't have an appearance. You know, so, but,
It's a school of the Rebbe.
huh?
It's a school, it's basically belongs to the Rebbe.
Well, I don't know if everyone thinks that way.
But the Jewish Center,
Huh?
Jewish Center used to be a conservative. The Jewish Center used to be a conservative. The Bima it used to have in the center, not in the front.
In the Jewish center, it wasn't in the front, in the center?
Huh?
What do you mean?
The Bima was in the middle of the shul. It used to be conservative shul.
Because Cyber, Zaga
It's a
though.
center, but they had the Bima in the middle, not in the front.
You sure?
But at least what I remember. Before they changed
Well,
the...
I can tell you that in all conservative shuls, the bima is up front, up over here, and there's even a standard on it for the chazan to stand there. In some, the chazan stands facing the people. It's another there. That's Mahadrim, facing the people, and then the perimeter. So, and it so happens that, let's see, 1950 would be like 75 years ago. This shul was built with the bima up over there. Okay?
The original?
The bima was up over there. And the chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Herzog, when he came to America, so at that time there was no rich Orthodox shul in Manhattan, Fifth Area Synagogue. He spent Shabbos over here in Crown in this shul. And he told the people that the bima should be in the middle. That's when they changed it. That's what I was once told. Okay? So, you know, so some people say Chadash Shemeni Kedem, you know. I says, you know, there's all kind of people today. We'll be saying about it, but I don't mind if I'm quoted about this issue. So he said, Naigah Kaya Albim, B'mokam Shekairim, because the Kriya was not up over there. They used to also make chuppahs here, and that's why they.
They used to make chuppahs inside?
Yeah. Years ago, they used to make a chuppah in the shul, and the chuppah was made up there. Now today there's modern Orthodox shuls where it goes down. It's built like on an elevator, and when they have a chuppah, it goes down and they cover the floor. But okay. Kaidem sheyitka, before you blow shofar, Yivarech Mu'umad. Shemek a bracha, again he says standing. And the bracha is a Sheket V'tzaiso, V'tzivonu, that's the abbreviation over here. V'shmoya kol shofar. Below you, I'm a big kol shofar. If you say V'shmoya big kol shofar, it is mashma l'tzayis a kol shofar. In other words, like the shofar is giving you a message, and you make a bracha to listen, to hear the message. It's not that the frekta question, V'lama aim evochim with kaya bis shofar. It says, V'shafishat kia ein ikar mitzvah el shmiyas kol shofar. The shofar is just a medium how to get a kol, but the main thing is the kol, not the shofar. So that's who shmiya kol shofar who ikra mitzvah shrei tekeya v'yishoma kol shofar. If someone, let's say, has a shofar, and it happens many times, but me also, it's gated. You stood there with the shofar. So are you yotze the mitzvah? You're not yotze. Why? Because you need the kol. Without the kol, it's nothing.
Is he talking about someone who is deaf?
Huh?
Someone who can't hear. and he blew shofar, he's not yetzer because he didn't hear.
That's true. That's why the Rebbe even writes that people that have a hearing aid is a shayla that they should remove the hearing aid so that they should, even though they'll hear a shvach, but they'll hear the shofar. And if they hear a hearing, the hearing aid is like a transmitter that changes over the voice.
Like a head.
Right?
Let's say someone can't hear it. Let's say someone isn't very far away.
So even if he's deaf, you can't help him. But we're talking people that have hearing aids are not deaf. They hear. If you scream into the air, they'll hear. So they'll hear a shvacha call, but they'll hear a call. If they'll hear through the shofar, through the hearing aid, then there's a shayla for yotza. Im over to ubida could kaya b'shofar, oyat kia shofar. These other neschois that he's rejecting, that you shouldn't use them. So for that second is yotza. V'acha bracha zu, after this first bracha, yivorach shechayonu. Why shechayonu? V'shehu mitzvah bo mizman l'zman. Kia shofar. The only mitzvah that we have Rosh Hashanah is Kish mitzvah Yom B'Shofar. That's the mitzvah of the day. So when a mitzvah that comes Mizman, you make a shechayonu. Ve'echad atekei la'atzmai. Ve'echad misha yotze yedei chavosai v'tekei v'hoitze achayim yedei chavosai. So it makes a difference if you're an individual that's blowing shofar for yourself, or you're blowing shofar for a klal. So mevarach beis brachos elu, you make these two brachos. B'medvar mamurim kishein hashemeya yedei levarach. Abamhu yedei levarach yivarach ba'atzmai v'lo yishma mimi shekva yotze yedei chavosai. The Moshe is by the Sim Reisha and Gimel. That the Reisha and Gimel talk about the dinim of Kiddush. And by dinim of Kiddush, the Alter Rebbe says that I always give the example when people went on the Talucha, so there were from wives that they didn't want to eat the Suda Shanta without the husband. So they, even though he went on Tavuch, say the Borough Park, and he come back late, they would stay up, and they would eat together with the husband. Now the husband made Kiddush in Borough Park, and when he came home, he made Kiddush for his wife. So according to the Rebbe, it's a shayla if you're doing the right thing, because the din is that you can't be mitzvah somebody if you were already yotzer. So that's he's saying here now, that if Moshe, the person himself should make the bracha, and not rely on the if he knows how to make the bracha himself. Because it just and he gives it a simon, but simon Reisha and Gimel. Reisha and Gimel was Hilchos Shabbos by Kiddush. So he's telling you that just like over there, that he's preferable, he shouldn't make Kiddush for his wife. An acceptance to this is Kiddush in the morning. Because the Kiddush in the morning, there's just a bite of Yagofin. And you're drinking also. So Mela, so you can make the bracha and shul here. But the Kiddush of the night, where there's a whole bracha of Kiddush, so it becomes a shayla. If the woman knows how to make the Kiddush herself, it sounds a little strange, but not strange that the woman knows. Today women are learning and everything. But they told the woman that she should make Kiddush. I mean,
my Bubby had a minhag. Shabbos morning she used to make Kiddush.
Who?
My Bubby had a minhag.
No, that was a different reason. That was because your Bubby didn't want to eat before Kiddush, and she knew her husband's in shul and whatever he's doing over there, davening, lining, or sitting and talking. So she would make kiddush before he came home. But I'm saying punkt verkehrt. I'm saying that Friday night, if you want to make kiddush, you already made kiddush. Like I gave an example, you went on Talucha. Well, you already made kiddush and you want to come home and make kiddush for the family. So then, the Alter Rebbe says that you shouldn't do that if she knows how to make kiddush herself. But I'm saying, but in the morning, if you come home, you could be moitzi even if you made kiddush already, because the whole kiddush is just by a girlfriend, and you're going to drink the cup also. So you could do it also. So he's saying over here that the bracha on the shofar, well, usually the Batakei and the Shul is Yaitza together with the Kia. So Melissa is part of it. So he's being Yaitza himself. He can make for someone else also.
You're saying that you're not allowed they hold you're not allowed to eat. You're not allowed to eat before Kiddush. So if they eat, she needs to make Kiddush before she eats.
Huh?
You're saying they hold you can't eat before Kiddush.
Your grandma was a frum person, and she didn't want to eat before Kiddush.
Right.
Her husband,
It was very
she didn't want to wait till her husband comes home for sure.
Ah, you're saying because they don't eat before they don't eat in the morning also.
Right.
Right.
After he made these two brachas, the bracha on the shofar and the bracha on Shechayanu, Yitka Tashat Gimel Pamim, the Tashat, that's abbreviation, the Kiyah showed him to the Kiyah, the Tashat Gimel Pamim, the Tarat Gimel Pamim, K'moshe Yizbah B'Simen Tavkov Tzaddik, which we'll be learning in Mitzvah Hashem shortly. Now he says, Misha Nistapik Im Shoma Kol Shaifa B'Yem Alav Shosh Hashanah Shehu Min HaTorah. The truth is that Rosh Hashanah has 2 days. But really, Rosh Hashanah shouldn't be 2 days. Especially, okay, in Chutz La'aretz, you need 2 days. But in Eretz Yisrael, why is it 2 days? So there's a whole cheshbon I'm not going to go into right now, because they made it a corner that it should be 2 days, because the Eidus that saw the Uvana came late, and while in the Beis HaMikdash, they were makov the Korban Tamid. So especially more is miskalkul ha'abiyim b'shir, because they counted that it's not Rosh Hashanah, and then it turned out that it is Rosh Hashanah. So they already said the shir that you don't say, that you say that, let's say Monday, but if it's Rosh Hashanah, so there's a different shir. So because the Skakal being Bashir, so they were Masakin that Rosh Hashanah should always be 2 days. So the first day is really Deraisa. The second day, it's Yom HaRichter, but still it's not the same. So he's saying over here now that Mishan Estapik, someone that has a suffix. Im Shama Kol Shaifa B'Yem Alav Shosh Hashanah, when that's the Deraisa, Shehu Min HaTorah, Chasorach L'Tkaya, so he has to blow Shaifa again, Avolo Yevorach. Why? Because it says, Mipnei Shesapik Brachos L'Hakom, the says the same. Kiyah Shaifa is a Deraisa. The Brachos is Midrabanan. So we bow you is a suffix, so and the deraisa part you go with chumrah, and the rabbanon part you go with kula.
So the tkiyas are the deraisa and the brachas are the rabbanon.
Mm-hmm.
No, the second day is the rabbanon.
Ve'imhu yom beis. If it's the second day of Rosh Hashanah, and he's mesupik, she'ein elu b'divrei sofim. Really, that was a takana that what they were second should be 2 days, but really, Rosh Hashanah is in the Torah is 1 day. Is ein tzarich l'tkaya, the sofik divrei sofim l'hakol.
The Rambam says that in the original time, when there was Beis Hamikdash, whoever was in Yerushalayim knew when is Rosh Hashanah, but whoever was a few days away didn't know.
Right.
So because then the places in Eretz Yisrael, some places didn't know and did 2 days, the suffix. So even though today we go by the Luach, we should keep it the same way as original, and everyone makes 2 days.
Right, they were second that all over.
Yeah. Nee.
I said,
In de alle Yamim Tovim in Eretz Yisrael macht 1 Tag. Aber Rosh Hashanah in Eretz Yisrael macht 2 Tage. Verwas? Weil in Eretz Yisrael allein am die Schluchimöglichkeit ankommen. Ja. Ich lag nicht. Ich habe gelernt das Nächten.
now, we're learning an interesting din now. We're learning a din that on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, if someone had a suffix, so he should blow shofar, but without a bracha, because this is the Raisa of the Rabbanan. What's the din if someone is mesupik if he benched? If he benched, right?
The first bracha is
So what's the din? The din is you have to bench over. You have to bench over again, and you have to in benching the first 3 brachas is the Raisa, and the next bracha is the Rabbanan. So why shouldn't we say that you should just bench over the first 3 brachas, not the 4th bracha? The same what was said down by Kiyas Kaifer, by Kiyas Shaifer. Understand the question?
Yeah.
So the teretz is because over there the bench is all the 4 brachas is a part of the benching. Over here the brachas and the shofar is 2 separate things. The brachas are not a part of the Kiyas Shofar. If the brachas were a part of the Kiyas Shofar, so then we'd say that if you have to redo the shofar, you have to do the brachas also. But the brachas is not miyakiv. Even if you didn't bend, even if you didn't make a bracha, and you heard shofar, you yaitza. Mashain came by benching consists of these 3 and this one that are bonan. So if you want to bench over, you have to do all of them, even if you have a supper. Now he says, just let's finish over here. Toiv l'tkaya b'tzad yamin shopiv. That you should blow from the right side. Im efshaloi b'kach. There's some people that it doesn't go by them, for whatever reason. But he's saying if im efshaloi b'kach, you should do it. Shenema, there's a pasuk about Sultan Aymed al Yaminai. The Sultan stands on his right side, but the key is Ma'avez HaSultan. The key is to be to mix up the Sultan. So the Sultan is on the right side, so to mix them up, you blow from the right side and you mix them up.
What if someone can't blow from the right side?
It just says Imefsha.
Oh, Imefsha.
It just says Imefsha. For your person that can't do it.
You could. If you could.
V'toiv sheyamet pi ha-shofar g'mayla. You should go up the shofar. V'loi yatenu es dodim. Shenema ola elokim b'shofar. Ola means he went up with shofar. So the same thing also. You should hold the shofar upwards and not to the side. Okay, let's stop over here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.